Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Wesley, and this is Future Specs. I know we've been gone for a while, because life gets busy and stuff, but we are officially back. We're going to be putting out videos again for you guys. I'm super excited, and this first one is going to be what I picked up at Terrificon last weekend. So, last weekend, me and Joey went down to Terrificon in Connecticut. I flew down. It was my first time in the States, too, so that was kind of cool that it was for this trip. And it was an awesome weekend. It was awesome to finally meet up with Joey in person for the first time, and to meet so many awesome people in the community. There were so many people that if I start naming them, I feel like I'm going to forget some people, and I don't want to. But it was awesome. So many people there. Lots of great vendors, too. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I picked up. So first I'm going to start out with the signatures I got. So I brought some books with me to get signed. Others I was looking for at the show and I picked up and then got signed. So without further ado, let's get right into the media guests. There was two of the original voice actors from Transformers Generation 1, the original cartoon. So I got my DVD copy of the 1986 movie signed by Dan Gilvezan, who is the original voice of Bumblebee, and Michael Bell, who is the original voice of Prowl, Scrapper, who is one of the Constructicons, and Swoop, who is one of the Dinobots. So that was really cool to meet them and have them sign this. And when I went up to their tables, there was no one in line. So I actually got to talk with them for a couple minutes, which was really cool. So keeping on with the Transformers theme, I got to give a shout out to John Big Daddy Ross. We were talking before the show about how I was looking for a Transformers 1. He was going to give me a really good deal on it. Then we met up at the show and he A-okayed me this book for free. So big shout out to him. He's a great guy. It was awesome to meet him at the show. And so here's Transformers 1 that he gave me. First appearance of the Autobots, Decepticons. First appearance of Optimus Prime, Megatron, all those guys. And then Bob Budiansky was there at the show, so I got him to sign this book. And if you don't know, he was the editor on this issue. Then I think on issue 6 or 7, he took over and wrote most of this original run. He's also the guy who came up with the names of Megatron and Optimus Prime for Hasbro. So that's really cool to have him sign this issue. Super glad I have it in my collection now. Getting close to finishing this Transformers run. So now we're going to get into my typical area of books with my Marvel Cosmic stuff. So here's Captain Marvel 29. It's part of that original Jim Starlin Thanos War story arc. One of my favorite covers by Jim Starlin and Al Milgrom. Al Milgrom was there, so I had him signed right along the white there. Loved the placement, loved his signature. It was super cool to meet him and got to talk with him for a couple minutes about working on this cover and with Starlin, so that was really awesome. And next up, Captain Marvel 33. This is the last issue of this Thanos War story. Probably one of my favorite Thanos covers of all time by Jim Starlin, and Klaus Janson inked this issue. And this is one of, I think was like in his first 10 issues of comics ever, or at least for Marvel. So it was really cool to have him sign this and to meet him too. So you can see right on the bottom there. This is an awesome cover, so it was kind of hard to pick a place for the signature, but I think it looks great down there. Now let's get into Warlock. So here's Warlock Chronicles, issue 3. This is an Infinity War tie-in issue. This is an awesome cover with Thanos, Warlock, and Mephisto. I got this signed by Keith Williams and Tom Rainey, who both worked on this cover. They were both there, which is super awesome. And I was talking to Keith Williams too about this issue, and he said he really enjoyed working on this because as an artist you don't really get a chance to draw Mephisto a lot because he isn't really in a lot of Marvel storylines, or at least in this era. So he really enjoyed getting the chance to draw Mephisto, which I think is really awesome. It's also one of my favorite covers from the run. Next up, Assad Ribic was there, which was really cool. He was announced last minute about 2 weeks before the show. So me and Joy were both excited. I love his stuff on Eternals and God of Thunder, and Joy's a huge God of Thunder fan, which he got an awesome remark sketch that you guys should go check out on his Instagram, and probably in his video after this he'll show it off. But here's Eternals 12 from the current run. This is the last issue of the run, an awesome Thanos cover, so I had to get him to sign this. Super cool guy to meet too. He was really chill and cool to talk to. So, awesome guys in the community. 3 Men in a Basement were also there. Otto and Roger were there. They had a table set up, and Otto's brother is actually a comic artist and writer, and he self-publishes kids comics. So they had an exclusive variant for Terrificon, which is super awesome. It's an homage to Batman and the Outsiders 1, so I got it signed by the artist, and Otto and Roger there. So this is an awesome variant. Huge congrats to those guys on getting their first exclusive, and it was super awesome to meet you guys at the con finally. So next up is a book I was super excited for, and that is The Boys 1, signed by Garth Ennis. You can see he signed there to Wes. Cheers. It was awesome to finally meet Garth Ennis because The Boys is one of my favorite series and one of the first I read when I got into comics. So it was awesome to meet him and have him sign this. And again, there's nobody at his table when I went up to get his signature, which I was surprised by. But again, it was awesome because I got to talk to him for a bit about the series and everything. So one of my favorite books that I got from the show. And the last signature I got is Department of Truth 10, the Ryan G. Brown variant in homage to Korn's Follow the Leader album cover and the Freak on a Leash music video. This is an awesome book. I love Ryan's work. I've got a couple sketches from him and some of his other covers. Awesome artist. It was cool to meet him and have him sign one of my favorite pieces of work of his. So now let's get into the back issues I picked up. So when I was at the con, I was kind of just looking around, picking up a book from this guy, Then I found this vendor that had $2 books, 15 for 20. So I dug through his bins, and I found a lot of stuff some stuff that definitely wasn't $2, but I grabbed it for a steal, so I'm super excited to add these to my collection. Lots of awesome covers and some run fillers, so that's always a good thing. So next up, I got Captain Marvel 19 from the original run. You know, it's a bit of a beat-up copy, but with these old books, any copy is better than not having it. So this is super awesome. I got this, the next book, which is 27, which is a bit beat up too, but you know, an awesome book to have for the run. It's the first full appearance of Eros, who is Thanos' brother. So I got this and the 29, which I showed off earlier, that I got signed by Milgram, from Jay to Butcher, from the Principal Defects. Awesome guy. He held these books for me until Terrificon, so I thank him for that. It was awesome to meet him too, and the Defects, so definitely go check them out, although I'm sure you already are. So next up is a book that I'm kind of surprised I haven't got yet, considering how much of an important thing it is to some of the characters I love. And this is the Avengers Annual 7, this awesome Thanos cover. This is the second part of that end of the first kind of Thanos saga. It's the death of Thanos and Warlock, because of course they eventually come back later in the 90s for Infinity Gauntlet. But at this point, they were dead for about a decade in comics. So it's an awesome story by Jim Starlin, awesome cover. So I picked this up from Very Gary, great guy, gave me a deal on it. It was super awesome to meet him finally. He was one of the first channels I watched when I actually started getting into comics. So that was super awesome to meet him. So now let's get into the books I found at that $2 booth. So here's Warlock issue 1 from a miniseries he had in 2001, 2002, I think. So just awesome cover, book I haven't had yet, just want to get every Warlock book, so it's checked off the list. Then we get into some Annihilation books I found, which I want to get this series because it's an awesome cosmic story, but also I have a feeling, just like a lot of people, that Annihilation is going to be adapted at some point very soon into the MCU and their cosmic saga that they seem to be going into right now. So I got a bunch of those books. So here's Annihilation Super Skrull 1. Here's Annihilation 3, another awesome Del Auto cover. I believe all these Annihilation books are Del Auto covers, so he's an awesome artist, love all his work, so it's awesome that he did these great covers for the series. Then we get into Annihilation Conquest 2, another awesome cover, issue 3, and issue 4. It would have been awesome if I could have found 6, which you know is that big first appearance of the New Guardians team, but either if he had it, it was definitely picked out already, or he knew that it was a bigger book so it wasn't in there. But it's another book that I'm definitely going to have to track down soon before it pops up, probably with Guardians 3, which I'm super excited for that movie as well. Now moving into a nice run of the Avengers, which is a storyline featuring the Hood, and he goes to try and gather the Infinity Stones. It's awesome John Romita Jr. covers, and Klaus Janson also inks these. I believe he did the covers and interior too, so it was super awesome to find these. Here's Avengers 8. I just love these covers and this artwork. Here's issue 9, which probably my favorite cover of the run with the gauntlet there, and I just love it so much. Here's issue 10 and issue 11. Awesome Hood versus Thor cover. So I actually found a nice chunk of Hercules books in there, which I found one that I didn't have yet, and that is 133. This is actually the origin issue of Amadeus Cho, who is speculated to come into the MCU soon. So for $2, I couldn't pass it up. A Newbie Comics has been talking about this book for a while, and again, I actually got to meet him at Terrificon too. It's kind of ironic that the Canadians met up for the first time down in the States, but that's just the way it worked out, so that was awesome. Glad I picked this book. And I also found a couple Nova books, which Nova is another awesome cosmic character I've been trying to get into more lately. So here's issue 23. This is from the Dan Abnett run, which leads up into the War of Kings, War of Realms story arc. So it's super cool. These are awesome covers too. Nova 28 and 35. I love this cover of the Nova helmet, Black Bolt's mask, and the Fantastic Four suit just destroyed there on the ground. Love this cover. Now this is a really cool one that I'm glad I found. This is Guardians of the Galaxy 146, but it's the lenticular homage cover, so I'm not sure how well this will appear, but you can see that its normal cover there is an homage to Infinity Gauntlet 1, and then the holo cover is the actual Infinity Gauntlet 1. So I love that. Super cool. Awesome book. Then I got Superhero Squad issue 1 variant cover. Saw Thanos there. Knew I had to have it. So I remember watching the show as a kid, actually. So it was super cool to get this book, and with Thanos on it, perfect for my collection. Coming up to the last few books here, so if you guys are still sticking with me, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Joey's going to have his haul video coming up next week, so make sure you guys are looking out for that, and all the other videos we're going to be having coming out soon. So keeping on going, I got Thanos 4. This is the Joe Jusko variant, which is super cool. He is well known for doing his artwork on the Marvel trading cards, so I thought it was super cool that he had a run of variant covers, and especially this one by Thanos. Loved the cover. So, the last 3 books I got here is The New Avengers Illuminati issue 2. This run kind of heated up when Multiverse of Madness came out and the Illuminati were in it and everything, but I wanted to get this just for this awesome cover with the Infinity Gauntlet and the Illuminati, an homage to Infinity Gauntlet 1, and this is actually the issue where the Illuminati each take possession of one of the Infinity Gems to protect it to stop them from being combined together again. So, awesome cover, awesome story issue. Glad I found it. So, next up is the only non-Marvel Cosmic Thanos Warlock book I got, and that is Hellraiser issue 2 from the Epic Comics run, which this is super cool. It's the first interior appearance of Pinhead, who he appears on the cover of the first issue, but he's not actually inside. This Hellraiser series is super cool because each issue has like 4 or 5 different short stories written and drawn by different artists and writers, which is super awesome. I think it went for like 23, 24 issues. And one of them, I think it's in the teens or the 20s, is actually Alex Ross's first comic book work. So that's super cool that it was on Hellraiser. One of my favorite horror movies now, thanks to J2 of the Low Grades. Definitely check them out too. Awesome book. I'm glad to have in my collection. And last up is Marvel Graphic Novel issue 3. This is the Dreadstar issue. Awesome Jim Starlin character and story. All done by him. The writing, all the artwork is 100% Jim Starlin. It's really cool. I have to finally have this. So it's finally cool to finally have this because following the story of Dreadstar, it goes the Metamorphosis Odyssey, which took place over the first 8 issues of Epic magazine. Then this, and then it goes into Dreadstar's first solo series, which is super cool that I'm finally filling some holes in that run. Awesome cover, awesome book. Super glad to have it. So, that's the video. Thank you guys for sitting through this super long haul. I got lots of awesome stuff at Terrificon. I'm glad to add into my collection. And once again, it was such a great weekend. I can't wait for next year already. I want to make this a yearly trip. not even for the con, just to hang out with the community and to meet everybody was definitely the best part about it. So, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and comment down below. Let me know what you thought of these books. And subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be putting out more content very soon. And keep an eye out for Joey's haul video next week. So, that's it for this video. See you guys later.